competing for World Championships. Every World Championships we have is an opportunity to show the entire world what's possible for the 1.2 billion people around the world with a disability. And not just to show them what's possible, but to show them excellence, to show them high performance, for them to connect with each other as a community. And for those of you in this room, I hope that you are doing your part also to connect the entire community within India to display the amazing accomplishments of these athletes throughout the world. Now, athletes from India have come a long way over the past years, the past decade, seeing growth from Doha 2015 World Championships. There were 2 medals. There were 17 last year in Kobe. And I see the medal table ticking every day. And the incredible investments of here in New Delhi and the federal government, of course, with the renovations of the stadium for accessibility, for performance and a new competition track and warm-up track. The athletes have everything they need here to compete, not just today, but moving forward, working towards LA 28 Paralympic Games, but also the next generation of athletes who are watching on TV right now, who can be inspired by these athletes and then become world championships and represent India for themselves as they get older. So thank you for coming, and we hope you can enjoy the rest of the competition throughout the week.
Media friends, you want to ask any question to Mr. Paul about championship or other things, you can question.
As you talk, how do you see the World Para Championships coming to Delhi and happening in Asia? Will it be a recurrent theme for the World Para?
That's a great question, thank you. We have already hosted this year a Grand Prix in the stadium prior to the renovations. Now we have the World Championships, and the athletes could see how incredible their performance can be with such an incredible facility. We have a contract for the next 3 years as well to come back to the Grand Prix every year. So this investment isn't just a one-time thing. This is for athletes to continue to excel here in New Delhi and inside the stadium, and an opportunity to engage with the community as well. I think we know that it's not just what happens inside that stadium. The championships and what they mean to these athletes extends far beyond the stadium. So the reach that they're having within the communities all around India is really important. And so the years-on-year investment that has already taken place in collaboration with World Athletics and the Paralympic Committee of India is very much valued, because we'll see continued improvements and continued performances over the next 3 years.
How many countries have participated in this Paralympics?
It's over 100 countries with over 1,200 athletes competing.
Question is to Mr. Andrew actually. First of all, congratulations on being re-elected as the IPC chief. I have 2 questions rather. First one is that we as Indians who are doing so well in Paralympics, especially 2 of our categories have been removed. One was the gold medal for Navdeep and even Yogesh Katuria. So that has actually deprived India of a potential chance. Of course, there are new categories coming in that can participate, but Indians were really strong in that. I mean, we think the replacement of these categories where already names are there, countries do get hard, the countries do get deprived of a chance. They feel they're hard done.
Well, of course. You mean in the games or here at the World Championships?
Yeah, not in the World Championships, the Paralympics as well.
Okay. Well, I think this question is about bringing the classes together, classification, and these are more direct. In the sport of parathletics, they are more direct to Paul. So asking him to answer you specific on the specific classes. The Paralympic movement has classification and has some limits in terms of number of athletes required to open events, limits of events at the Paralympic Games. So it's a normal thing, which obviously we know how it affects athletes to combine classes, to merge classes, or to not have events in certain classes, and then athletes have to compete in the upper class. This is obviously it's not an ideal situation. It happens across the movement, but if you want a specific on those particular events, I can ask Paul, because he knows far more about para-athletics than I know.
Well,
At the Paralympic Games, for para-athletics, there's 164 medal events, and there will be as well in LA 28. Here, there's 186, the World Championships. So I think this is an opportunity that was welcomed by the Paralympic Committee of India, and to expand the program as wide as possible. And what that does is provide more opportunity for more sport classes and more athletes to compete. When they do so, this creates momentum and data to ensure that a viable application to be on the Paralympic program, which is of course very limited, is possible. So thank you for the organization here for allowing for so many events to take place inside the stadium.
And one more question was there, that was regarding like in LA 2028 we have cricket, in Olympics I'm talking about first, we have cricket as a part of it for after ages, like for the first time you can say rather. So now can we see physically challenged cricket or para cricket, you say whatever, physically challenged cricket or blind or even the wheelchair cricket to be a part of Paris, LA Paralympics, especially now that cricket is there in Olympics, so all these categories of cricket should also be there in Paralympics.
The sport program for LA 2028 is already decided. It does not include cricket. Of course, we are starting the process for selecting the sports for Brisbane 2032 Paralympic Games. At the moment, we are aware of some initiatives around what I would call para-cricket around the world, but they are not relevant yet in terms of number of athletes, quadrennial, international calendar, and so on and so forth. Those are some initiatives. Obviously, many of them come from India. It's a country that is in love with the sport of cricket. So we may see the sport grow in the future so that it can apply to be part of the Paralympic Games. We are very far from that, in my opinion. I'm not the one doing this analysis, but from the information I have, we're still far. We don't have yet World Championships in the sport. We don't have many countries competing internationally. So for a sport to be in the Paralympic Games, it needs to be ready to get into the Paralympic Games. We saw that recently with para-badminton, we saw this with para-taekwondo, then we saw this with triathlon, canoe in Rio. The sports were ready, strong classification system, rules, and strong anti-doping policies, good development around the world, a minimum number of countries. So I do understand that cricket is in the Olympics as part of one of the sports proposed by the organizing committee, but I think we are still a little bit far from that. But it would be great to see the development and growth of para-cricket around the world. We applaud those initiatives, but I still think there is a long way to go before inclusion to the